think he's hiding.
Behind the scenes of a Toastmasters convention workshop. So this is what I've been asked to share on. I was looking forward to having 2 days of really relaxed, no pressure time to enjoy the convention this year. And shortly after I did my evaluation workshop here, there were some district leaders that started asking me, hey Lester, would you do a workshop for the convention? I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. I have so many stuff I need to get done that I'm just not getting done. I'm so frustrated. And then finally, they really put the screws on me. I said, well, what's the theme of the workshop? And it's, how did Toastmasters benefit you in your work and career? Ooh, that was a soft spot in my heart. Something that really means a lot to me, what it did for me, and also what it did for my wallet.
Huh?
Oh, what it did for my wallet. They say nobody gets paid in Toastmasters, right? Okay, so the story starts. Way back, Douglas Huang was a member of Toastmasters, way before I was. And as much time as we spent together biking and all this, he really never pushed me to even go to a Toastmasters meeting. And after he moved to Finland for his job in Nokia, I started dabbling with a company in the USA called EcoQuest. I was already busy with my work with aircraft sales and telecom in Taiwan and small airplanes. But because someone came here who was part of the launch team to open up the Taiwan market, this was a good friend of mine, and she saw my terrible allergies in Taiwan. Terrible! I would not sleep at night, my nose was running, I'd have to get up like 10 times a night just to blow my nose. And she said, Lester, you need this. I said, no, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. She put the thing in my hand and says, just plug it in and try it overnight. When I did that, I woke up the next morning, my nose was clear, my eyes weren't itching, and I did not get up even once to blow my nose. Wow, that kind of life-changing experience made me become a dealer to sell those products. This is a company called EcoQuest International. And the CEO of EcoQuest recommends that everyone that's doing that business should join Toastmasters. The CEO's name was Michael Jackson.
Huh?
Can you believe that?
Yes.
But it's not the one you're thinking. It's not this Michael Jackson. It was a blonde-haired American who was Michael.
Michael Jackson did have blonde hair.
This Michael Jackson did. He was white and he had blonde hair. And so I joined a club, the same club that Douglas Huang was with at Prestige Toastmasters. At that time, we were meeting in a 5-star hotel. Wow. The dinner was $600 every time you went. We had the bigwigs like George Yen, who became the international president, L.J. Lamb, Gordon Brooks, and it was quite the happening club. So I started my journey. And I did my speeches and things like this, and finally, how many of you remember the old Toastmasters program, okay? Where you basically, your first award is called Competent Communicator. And you have to do 10 speeches to get that award. And I was doing my 10th speech. At the time, EcoQuest, which was an air purifiers, was actually going to be rolling out a new product called Laundry Pure, which allows you to attach this to your washing machine and wash your clothes without detergent. No soap, no suds, right? That just totally intrigued me. So I decided I'm going to do my speech on Laundry Pure. The objective is to inspire your audience. So I started thinking deeply about the subject. Wow, no detergent. How big is that market? So I started doing research. And then I realized, wow, detergent every year in USA alone is $8 billion a year. So then I started calculating, okay, $8 billion worth of detergent, how much is that, you know? What's a visual that I could attach to that? And it would take 180,000 40-foot containers to house $8 billion of laundry detergent. And then I thought of, wow, how many shipping, the big super container shipping ships would it take? And it would take 15 ships fully loaded with just detergent to meet that volume. Then I thought, okay, now that you have to attach the trucks and you have to take it to the USA, I figured out that it would take from New York to almost Las Vegas in the United States, 3/4 of the way across the USA, trucks back to back, bumper to bumper, to haul that much detergent. And then I thought about all the water that goes to use to make the laundry to do your wash. And it was over 250 gallons of water. 250, you can't even think how big that was. So I did my speech, I got my CC, my Competent Communicator Award. So with this company, we had a cruise to Alaska paid for by the company for the top sales in the company. And on that cruise, I shared my C10 speech with a few of the leaders that were really high producers on the boat. Well, they really liked it, and word got up to the CEO, Michael Jackson, that I had this great speech about Laundry Pure. Next thing I know, he comes to me and goes, hey, Lester, I want you to do the rollout of our Laundry Pure in Memphis, Tennessee this summer at our worldwide convention. Whoa, 2,000 some people to come to that. So I attended. I said, okay, I'll do it. I went and did this at the convention. Just a huge, huge crowd. Scared me to death. And when I finished delivering the speech, the people were on their feet. They were cheering and clapping. I thought I got a standing ovation, but to tell you the truth, I cheated because I already had the audience stand up before it ended. So I did get a standing ovation. That year, they gave me the highest leadership award out of 100,000 dealers. The leadership award of the year. It's the last one they give. It's the most prestigious one. I wasn't the highest producer of money. I wasn't the greatest leader, but that's what it did for my career. My C10 Toastmasters speech got me a huge jump in recognition in EcoQuest. I would go on to be the president of Taipei Metro Toastmasters, and then they knew that I was in the air business. That landed me a contract that has been over 3 million Taiwan dollars. And that's how it has benefited my pocketbook as well.